Guess where this Velociraptor with a 6.4 liter Hemi is? I'll give you a couple of seconds to guess. Velociraptor sounds like a pretty cool name. This is a police vehicle that they normally have parked on a city street. Get the gimbal going here. This thing's all decked out. Nice. It's not unusual to see a vehicle like this parked on a city corner, city street, near a police station, or a police kiosk, as you might call it, which I'll show you in a minute here. This video is actually about a mass surveillance in China. Dun 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 dun. Here you got two cameras right here. Gonna get this gimbal going for me here. Got two cameras right there. It looks like those cameras are watching people on the street, because here's the road where the cars are, which have plenty of their own cameras. Here's another, looks like a street camera. Yeah, we got cameras up here watching the traffic, and we got, where else have we got cameras here? Oh, there's more cameras. Come on, there we go. There's more cameras. Probably the resolution's not good now because I'm zoomed in. Here we got more cameras. That's as much zoom as I can get there. The street is kind of it's a big corner here, so where else we got here? Here we got some more. There's a camera there. A couple of cameras there on the road. We got basically, you got cameras on every corner watching the traffic, and you actually trying to zoom this back out here. I've seen videos on YouTube about people saying about the surveillance state, or all the cameras in China. The U.S. actually has more cameras per capita than China, but anyway, there's a lot of cameras here. You do see a lot of cameras everywhere, but you have to think of the cameras basically as if if you live somewhere that has cameras, you might be happy. There's cameras in the hallway of your building or the entrance, or if you work somewhere where there's a lot of cameras and they can see if people are coming in that are unwanted or whatnot. It turns out to be sometimes a good thing. There are, I think from where I'm standing right now, I can probably see 15 cameras. So you can think of these cameras similar to those cameras that you might already be familiar or happy with, except these are the same type of cameras but on steroids, and I'll explain what I mean here. It's easy to imagine, and I think some people suggest and help your imagination to think that there's some big central stadium or something where there's all these police that are, somebody's watching each camera. It's just not true. That's not how it works. Basically what happens is, well, I say they're cameras on steroids, especially the ones that are watching the cars on the road. There's nobody watching that camera, but that camera is linked to a computer that can pick out somebody not wearing a seatbelt. It can pick out someone going through a red light. It can pick you out if you drive onto the pedestrian lane when it's a red light. It can pick you out when you there's a solid line that starts at the intersection and goes back a ways. You're not supposed to change lanes from back a ways from the intersection, and it'll pick you out, and then it'll automatically send a ticket to you. I guess just a bill, but it'll deduct points from your driver's license automatically, and you can also pay that automatically online by WeChat. So that's convenient, but it's not that convenient that they can see. The camera can pick out every little driving infraction. You know, sometimes you think you're going to get away with something, but in China, it's not that easy, and it's very difficult to argue with the camera. You're not going to argue with the camera. It's just not going to happen. So the main thing that the cameras are actually used for is similar to, well, actually the main thing is probably to generate cash from the traffic. I'm sure that they generate an awful lot of money from the traffic infractions. You know, just people thinking that they can just cross lanes wherever they want, or they can, you know, run a yellow light that's turning red. There is rules to that. You know, there's some timing involved there. That if you start crossing and it just turned yellow, I believe that's still going to be okay, and the camera is smart enough to know. So the main thing that the cameras, other than generating money from traffic, the main thing is if something happens. If there's an accident, especially with an injury, if there's something stolen, you know, anything to do with breaking laws, they're going to go back to the camera. They're going to be able to see on the camera what happened. But they don't watch the cameras in general. Like I said, I think there's an easy assumption, or easy, you know, you can get your imagination going thinking there's somebody watching each one of these cameras here. Each one of these 15 cameras now that they could potentially see me on. They're not watching those. It's just like at your work, you know, where I think after 24 or 48 hours, potentially it's erased and taped over again. But you know, if nobody has a complaint or nothing, they didn't see anything happen, or you know, nobody's been injured or nothing's been stolen for probably, I'm guessing, a 48-hour period, then they probably just tape over that again. If something does happen, you want to believe that they can get that film, or it's not film anymore, but they can get pictures of it, video of it, in short order. So one of the things that a typical corner like this, like I said, you might see 15 more cameras. You might see less, but there may even be more cameras than the 15 that I can see. I haven't pointed them all out on the camera here, but my zoom isn't working that well, as you can see. Here's the Velociraptor. You do see that kind of a vehicle parked at different, maybe, you know, big malls or definitely busy corners. I've never seen one in use. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody in one. They do have those parked everywhere around, and could potentially use them, I suppose, if they were needed. But another thing that's common at very busy corners is these police kiosks, and here's one here. Looks like they got a little 4x4 that they could use for something. Let's see what's on the 4x4 here. That looks like they got they got a pump, water pump, emergency pump, and they got I don't know, is that an air compressor? Oh, pressure washer. A pressure washer for some reason. They might need it in an emergency. Lin-Hai portable fire pump. Oh, this belongs to the fire department. Looks like this one could be replaced soon. It's the color's just about gone off it. But here's the police kiosk we got here. Police kiosk. And like I said, I think people might get the idea that, oh, you know, here I'm at this busy corner here with all these cameras. There's probably people in there watching me right now. They probably got me, you know, especially a foreigner standing on this corner with a with a gimbal and a camera, a video camera, talking to the camera. They must be in there. Oh, look at that. Looks like that camera there. That one. That one. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like it's looking right at me. So maybe they're in there in that kiosk and they're directing that camera towards me, right? What do you think? Is it possible? Imagination can run wild. So, you know, especially if you don't check things out for yourself. So, I think I'll see if I can take a look inside there and see if they're looking at me on the cameras. Let's check this out. Into the police kiosk. Ah, 你好。我拍照可以。
拍照不能在里面拍照。
我学习中国文化。
也不能在里面拍照。
我的先生大学的6岁上。
你可以去外面拍照。
你可以到外面拍照，不能到里面拍。
外面take a look around。
不行，
去外面。去外面拍照。
OK。谢谢。先生大学。
这站不能这里。
OK. They don't want me taking pictures of them playing on their phones. What I saw in there was a couple of beds and a couple of guys playing on their phones. So kind of blew away my imagination there a little bit. You know, I think if you don't look inside, it's quite possible you let your imagination run away with you. I think I've given a reasonable description of the cameras here. There are a lot of cameras, and they're very smart. Well, there's probably some cameras somebody's watching, but in general, they're not watching the cameras. Computers are watching the cameras, and the computers are very smart. They can pick out a lot of stuff, anything. Nice helmet. Nice helmet. He didn't seem too happy. Okay. The computers can pick out a lot of stuff. They can take away your driver's license in a hurry if you're breaking the law. Some of the police are a little easier going than others. Actually, I went into the same kiosk about a week ago today. I'll add that clip onto this one. But anyway, yeah, generally the cameras are not your enemy. The cameras are your friend. Some of it, I think it goes a little bit further than it needs to. I think that there's some face recognition, so they could probably, if they wanted to, or I guess the computer could pick you out. And I've heard, and from a very good source, they actually have cameras on satellites that can pick you out from the top without even seeing your face. And that's by your gait or certain other traits you might have when you walk. And I have that from a source that actually helped develop the technology and face recognition technology. So I do know that exists, but I don't think it just exists in China. I'm sure it exists in the United States as well, or other countries that are developed. Israel probably has something like that. Nice police motorcycle there. I don't know what kind of motorcycle that is. Let me check it out. It's a Honda. So it's a Chinese brand motorcycle. It looks pretty nice though. Oh, he's using GoPro 2. 4K. Maybe that's newer than mine. Cool. They got some pretty cool uniforms too, the police here. But the bike looks pretty clean, as you might see there. It's not a very big bike, it's a 250. I don't know that much about bikes anyway, but should I try to go in the police station? The police kiosk? See what's going on in there? See if they're watching me? Hold on a second, let me try. we got a couple of beds in here.我水是中国文化，流水上现的，我流水上，流水上现的，现在大水，对。No，现在大水，现在我是流水上，现在大水。我学习中国文化啊，我的中国not so good，谢谢。